A group of gangsters hurt a young girl, but they had no idea that a garbage truck driver would stand up for her. The title of the movie is Clean. Ready? Let's go. A garbage truck driver is driving through the streets of the night city. It stops near garbage cans and the driver picks up bags and boxes of junk. He's a skinny bearded man who calls himself Clean. After his night shift, he leaves the garbage trucks in the garage, leaves the keys and heads to his car. The man reasons that the world is flooded with filth that has poisoned both nature and people. His hands are also covered in this filth. Also, they are covered in blood. It seems that the protagonist has a very dark past. Clean arrives at a wrecking yard. He opens a can of dog food and tastes its contents. Seems to be quite edible. Then the man gives the canned food to the local stray dog. Meanwhile, a meeting of people who have taken illegal substances is taking place. A dark-skinned man named Travis admits that he got hooked on a drug after being wounded in the army. But now he has changed and wants to clean up the streets of the city from this filth. Travis is attentively heard out by Clean, who has also attended this meeting. He reasons that such substances destroy the human brain. However, in his opinion, the strongest addiction is the addiction to violence. Once you get hooked on it, you can't live without it. After the meeting, Clean drives to his abandoned house. He doesn't understand what makes him return to this gloomy place over and over again. There is no wife, children or pets waiting for him. The man is all alone. Clean is frying chicken and watching TV. The next day, the protagonist drives to one of the houses in his neighborhood. A young girl named Diana comes out of it. The man gives her a box of chicken and she laughs because now everyone will think he is her father. Diana presents Clean with a homemade bracelet to show her gratitude. The man is touched but immediately asks the girl to hurry for her bus so that she wouldn't be late to school. Clean heads to the pawn shop. He found an ancient broken vacuum cleaner in the junkyard and fixed it. Now he sells it to the pawnbroker for $45. At that moment, a guy walks into the pawn shop, angrily arguing with someone on the phone. He wants to buy a gun. The salesman shows him several items and they bargain over the price. Clean has no interest in this and heads to another store where he buys several cans of paint. At night, Clean lights up the walls of the abandoned houses on the street with a garbage truck's headlights and paints them. Also, he boards up the windows and doors. The man is pleased with the results of his work. The next day, Clean brings Diana lunch again. During the night, he has a dream about his young daughter. Apparently, some tragedy has occurred in his life. He presses his daughter's picture to his chest. The barber is trying to figure out what happened in this man's strange life. He advises Clean to forget about the past before it devours him. In the meantime, a guy named Mikey comes out of the gates of the local jail. His father Michael and his friend Frank are watching him from a car park nearby. A white SUV pulls up next to the ex-prisoner. Several guys get out of it, hug their mate and hand him some kind of a necklace. Mikey gets in the car with his friends, and they drive off. The father doesn't like what he sees, but he doesn't bother his son. Clean arrives at work and finds out that his garbage collection route has changed. The man drives through the night town and parks near a fish market. A van is parked next to it, and a group of people are unloading crates. Michael and several other suspicious men are supervising the process. Some of them even have guns. Mikey is also there, wearing a huge necklace around his neck. At night, Clean has another nightmare. A car explosion, little white shoes on the pavement, a fight, and gunshots. The man wakes up and reaches for a photo of his daughter. Clean is repairing his car's engine, and in the morning he notices sad Diana walking down the street. The girl complains that her school bus is not coming today, and the man offers to give his neighbor a ride to school. While in the car, Diana asks her friend why is he always alone. After all, it's so boring and difficult. Doesn't he have a wife or a girlfriend? Clean replies that he is not interested in such a thing. Michael is frying fish inside the store. Mikey walks in and his father immediately scolds him for being late and orders him to get to work. The boy complains that he hates the smell of fish. The father replies that it is the smell of success. The man cuts open one of the raw fish and pulls bags of illegal drugs out of it. He counts the bags. Turns out 5 are missing. Mikey says that such a shortage is nothing, but his father disagrees. He grabs his son and says that such little things are the reason why people become losers. Outside Diana's house, Clean chains a new bicycle to a metal fence. He hides a piece of paper with a clue under the seat so that the girl can open the code lock. Diana's grandmother Ethel appears on the doorstep and reminds the man that the girl is not his daughter and there is no need to save them. The woman says that she's seen Clean painting abandoned houses at night, but the man lies that it wasn't him. Clean comes to Travis and tells his friend about the bike he once bought for his daughter. She loved riding it so much. Michael goes to church and listens to the sermon, after which he makes a donation and leaves the sanctuary. At the same time, Michael's employees clean the fish in the store. They extract bags of illegal drugs, package them up and distribute them to the dealers. A money-counting machine helps them count the profits. The Chinese are unloading crates of seafood outside a fish store. Michael walks over to them. He sticks his hand into one of the crates and picks up a squid. The man recalls the time when his father made him clean the squids. It was the most disgusting work ever. They stink so bad, but soon he got used to it. Suddenly, Michael hits one of the Chinese men and the latter falls on the fish. The boss picks up a hammer. After punishing his partner for stealing, he approaches the other two Chinese and demands the return of the stolen goods. Mikey silently witnesses the scene. At night, Clean drives to the fish store again to pick up trash. He sees several crates stained with something red. Michael appears behind his back. The man offers several bills to the protagonist. Clean refuses the money and leaves. In the morning, the main character is driving down the street in his car. The engine stalls. Clean gets out of the car, looks under the hood, then lies down on the ground to inspect the bottom of the car. He sees some guys running by. Clean follows them and witnesses a violent fight. One of the bullies notices an unwanted witness. Clean is knocked out with one strong hit. The protagonist regains consciousness in the hospital. He gets an MRI scan of his head and once again sees his daughter in flashbacks. Clean has a large scar left on his head. The doctor offers him painkillers, but he refuses. Clean is ordered to take a sick leave at work. The man complains to Travis that he is forbidden to drive a garbage truck until he is fully recovered. In the evening, Clean drives by Diana's house and notices the girl on the porch. She complains that she has forgotten the keys and her grandmother is not home. Then Clean brings Diana to his house and makes her dinner. He gets a terrible headache. The girl notices a large black chest in the corner and intends to open it. Clean yells at her and the frightened girl runs out of the house. Michael has dinner with his son and watches hockey on TV. The boy is listening to a rap song wearing headphones and can't hear what his father is telling him. The furious man pulls the headphones off. Another family scandal breaks out. Clean notices Diana has gotten into bad company. These are the same guys who picked Mikey up from prison. The man goes to the pawn shop and sells an amplifier he found in the junkyard. Then he attends another Narcotics Anonymous meeting and listens to the stories of people hooked on illegal substances. Clean keeps restoring abandoned houses in his neighborhood. The man notices some shadows in one of the dilapidated buildings. The protagonist goes inside and sees a red box on the floor. There is a large wrench inside. Clean takes the box and arrives at Diana's house. At this time, the girl is hanging out in one of the city's dens with her new friends. Feeling unwell, she wants to leave. However, the youngsters turn on the camera and push her onto the couch. Clean knocks on the door of the den. He notices Diana inside and uses the wrench. The man deals with all the young thugs and saves the girl. Unfortunately, there is one problem. The camera has filmed everything happening in the room. Clean brings Diana home and leaves her with her grandmother. Mikey ends up in the hospital with very severe injuries. His father watches the video and finds out who maimed the youngster. He orders his sidekicks to take revenge on Clean, but before doing so, they should do something very bad to his friends in front of his eyes. The protagonist realizes they are in trouble, so he leaves his town with Diana and Ethel. A police car catches up with them. After a moment of hesitation, Clean steps on the gas and flees from the chase. The problem is that he has a pretty old car that's about to fall apart. They need a new ride. Diana and her grandmother need to go to the restroom. They run into a roadside cafe while Clean is trying to steal someone's car. Before long, Michael's thugs drive up to the parking parking lot. They enter the cafe and notice Diana with her grandmother. The women attempt to run away, and the criminals run after them. Clean realizes they've been traced. He deals with one of the gangsters and rushes to Diana's aid. He shows up just in time and quickly solves the problem using a hatchet. We find out that Clean used to be a hitman, and that black chest contained his weapons. One day, his little daughter found illegal drugs in that box. Alas, there was no way to save the little girl. Clean hides Diana and her grandmother in the local hotel. He promises to make things right. The man returns to his house and discovers that it is completely destroyed. Now the black box contains his daughter's stuffed toy. Also, there is a stash with wads of money inside. Clean comes to the pawn shop and buys a gun, allegedly for hunting. He chooses a shotgun and then takes a lot of stuff for traps. Meanwhile, Michael is informed that Clean's real name is Carlo, but he is better known as the Grim Reaper, the most experienced hitman in Chicago. At nightfall, Clean is getting ready for battle, preparing his weapons and setting up the traps. We see that his body is covered in tattoos and scars. The man puts on a bulletproof vest, attaches a knife to his arm, and pets a stray dog at the wrecking yard. Michael gathers his best sidekicks in the house and prepares for a fight. At the same time, Clean gets into a garbage truck and rams this huge vehicle into a car parked outside of Michael's house. He breaks down the wall of the house and drives right through it. The protagonist eliminates the gangsters one by one, and no one can do anything about it. He's too tough. Using guns, knives, and fists, he deals with all the criminals. Finally, the only villain left alive is Michael. At this point, luck turns its back on the main character, and he runs out of ammunition. A fierce fight ensues, and it turns out that the villain is much stronger than Clean. In no time, the protagonist ends up on the floor, and it looks like his life is about to be cut short. He remembers his daughter and finds the strength to keep fighting. Suddenly, Mikey enters the room carrying a gun. He fires several bullets and they hit his father. Clean is supposed to get the last bullet, but Mikey runs out of ammo. Diana is riding a bicycle through the streets of the city. She is greeted by children playing nearby. The girl spots a garbage truck in the distance.